Indonesia today stands at a strategic crossroads in the evolution of its air power. And this transformation is not simply a matter of purchasing aircraft, but of defining how Indonesia intends to fight in the air and secure its enormous archipelagic territory over the next several decades. The acquisition of multiple fighter platforms from different countries reflects not indecision, but a purposeful diversification, a strategy rooted in national autonomy, geopolitical agility, and doctrinal flexibility. In this context, the comparison between J-10C, KAAN, F-16, and Rafale reveals Indonesia's deeper orientation of air warfare and strategic independence. When considering each platform individually, a distinct logic emerges. The F-16 is the familiar veteran of Indonesia's air fleet, widely used globally. With established interoperability with Western systems, a strong training ecosystem, and predictable performance. For decades, it formed the backbone of Indonesian air operations. Rafale, by contrast, represents Indonesia's move into a more technologically advanced strike fighter generation with powerful electronic warfare, sensor fusion, and multirole versatility. The J-10C introduces a new dimension, long-range, beyond-visual-range interception, combined with a modern, active, electronically scanned array radar and Chinese missile technology, including the PL-15 class capable of imposing area denial air control. Finally, the Turkish KAAN represents a leap into the future. While not yet fully mature, it is projected to offer stealth shaping, reduced radar cross-section, and internal weapons carriage, with potential technological collaboration rather than simple procurement. From a pure air combat doctrine standpoint, each aircraft symbolizes a different philosophy. American design in the F-16 is rooted in agility, pilot visibility, and energy maneuverability dogfight logic, qualities well suited to engagements within visual range. The French Rafale reflects the European doctrine of adaptability and independence, where the aircraft can seamlessly shift between air-air, air-surface, and reconnaissance roles in the same sortie. The Chinese J-10C emerges from China's focus on long-range radar-guided interception, placing priority on first shot, first kill engagements well before opposing aircraft detect the threat. The Turkish KAAN envisions a future where situational awareness, low observability, and network-centric warfare determine the winner before either side even sees the incoming threat. Indonesia is not simply picking one doctrine, it is assembling a unique hybrid. Rather than aligning with United States doctrine, Chinese doctrine, or NATO doctrine, Indonesia appears to be building an adaptable force structure, where different aircraft perform different strategic functions. This is not a weakness, but a layered capability. In a hypothetical conflict scenario, J-10C may serve as rapid interceptors across island chains, Rafale may provide sustained control and electronic dominance, and KAAN might operate as a strategic stealth-first spearhead. However, this multiplicity of suppliers presents a real challenge: technical interoperability. Indonesia today maintains aircraft, spare parts, weapon systems, and maintenance pipelines that originate from the United States, France, China, Turkey, Russia, and South Korea. Critics inside Indonesia frequently point to the logistical burden: multiple training pipelines, incompatible software architectures, differing diagnostic systems, and inconsistent ground support. Supporters counter with the strategic autonomy argument. No single country can cripple the Indonesian Air Force by blocking spare parts or imposing sanctions because Indonesia has alternatives. This provides a national insurance policy in the geopolitical domain. This approach also influences Indonesia's diplomatic posture. By acquiring J-10C, Indonesia signals to China that it welcomes cooperation but does not commit to alliance or dependence. By acquiring Rafale, Indonesia maintains open channels to Europe, gaining industrial cooperation and increasing geopolitical options. By continuing to operate F-16, Indonesia preserves the defense relationship with the United States without elevating it into dependency. And by investing in KAAN, Indonesia looks to Turkey, a country that, like Indonesia, pursues its own path between major geopolitical blocs. In effect, these procurement decisions form a diplomacy through equipment matrix where aircraft are both weapons and symbols of diversified alignments. The deeper strategic question is, what kind of air force does Indonesia aspire to build? There are three plausible models. The first is an air force primarily focused on territorial defense, reacting to intrusions and protecting Indonesian sky. The second is an air force oriented toward maritime control, recognizing that Indonesian security fundamentally depends on its seas. The third is a regional deterrent force that can impose unacceptable costs on any neighbor or external power attempting coercion or violation of Indonesian sovereignty. When mapping current procurement to these three visions, it appears that Indonesia is positioning itself toward a blend of maritime air dominance and regional deterrence. A key element of this strategy is forward-looking technology development inside Indonesia. The potential collaboration with Turkey on KAAN represents an opportunity not just to operate an aircraft, but to participate in its evolution through co-production, engineering exposure, and long-term development of local aerospace expertise. Rafale may similarly offer technology exposure through industry offsets and support partnerships. Over time, this builds not only aircraft operators, but Indonesian engineers, designers, and defense technologists capable of supporting domestic aerospace autonomy. One must also consider the timeline. As we approach the 2030s, older F-16 units will gradually phase out or move to secondary roles. Rafale will likely become a premium multirole tool for strategic missions requiring electronic warfare dominance or precision strike. J-10C could fill the role of high-mobility, regional response fighters. And KAAN, if development continues as projected, may become the backbone of Indonesian air power due to its stealth and sensor fusion. This creates a layered pyramid of capabilities, not a flat fleet. The driving thread through all these decisions is Indonesia's determination to avoid dependency. This approach is deeply rooted in Indonesian strategic culture, sovereign defense posture, multi-vector diplomacy, and balanced engagement with competing global power centers. The public discourse in Indonesia reflects a society that understands the need for military modernization, but is sensitive to national dignity and technological sovereignty. Indonesians want advanced jets, but they want those jets to serve Indonesia's interests, not another power's influence. Indonesia's approach is not merely reactive to threats, but anticipatory of its future role in the region. A large, resource-rich archipelagic state located on critical sea lanes will inevitably face strategic pressure from multiple directions. By building an air force that is diversified, adaptable, and technologically forward-leaning, Indonesia positions itself not merely as a regional actor, but as a maritime air power of significance in the Indo-Pacific. What emerges is a picture of a nation crafting its own path, respectful of partnerships, but beholden to none, willing to leverage external technologies while growing domestic capability, and deliberately shaping an air power doctrine suited to the unique geography and strategic imperatives of the Indonesian archipelago.